I want to talk to you a little bit more about this book because there's so many wonderful things happening with it. $1 from each book is going to go to help Florentina, who is going through cancer treatment right now. She's 5 years old, and I would love if you could help her. But I also want to talk to you about this. Each day we have a chance to make a positive impact. It really depends on how we choose to act. So much of our experience in life is how we choose to behave or how we choose to view the situation. And so in any situation, you can really change your perspective and then it will change the outcome. And so if it's something that you're really struggling with, it could be like, hey, what can I learn from this situation? Or if it's somebody that you don't really get along with, then it could be like, hey, what can I learn from that person about how I don't want to behave? There's so many different situations that come into our lives where it's really about how we're choosing to behave and how we're choosing to feel about the situation. So I told my daughter on the weekend when we were going out to an event, I said, if you're going to enjoy it, she was grumpy and she didn't want to go. And I was like, really, the choice is yours. Like, you can be like, hey, I'll get to meet a bunch of new people and see people I haven't seen in a long time. Or you can be pouty and crabby and sit and pout the whole time. It's really up to you. And no matter what you decide, I can't change that for you, right? We're going out to a beautiful acreage and there's a pool and there's a bouncy castle and there's lots of kids. And so like you got to make a choice. You can choose to be grumpy and pout, or you can choose to be like, hey, I'm going to put myself out there and meet new friends. And I'm so glad that when we got there, she did turn her grumpiness around and she just had the best time. And we ended up being one of the last people to leave because she just didn't want to go because she was having so much fun. And I find that really often with my daughters that anytime we're trying something new, she's like, I don't want to do it. And she pouts and she stomps and she complains. Like every time we go skiing, she'll do this. She'll have this like negative attitude about going. And then as soon as we go and she starts to have fun, she's like, oh, and then she doesn't want to leave. And so it's like all of it is about her attitude. And as soon as you break that little attitude of like, I don't like this, then all of a sudden it's like gung ho. And I'm like, she's like, this is the best thing ever. And so I really want you to think about how we choose to act, because that's what we have a choice in. We don't have a choice about the situations that arrive, but we do have a choice about what we choose to do. And I think each and every one of us in multiple situations in our lives could be like, ooh, I could have chose to deal with that better. But at the same time too, if there's something that you're struggling with, then you can take a step back and think about, how am I going to choose to act in this so that I can be my highest self? And before you act or before you react to something, take a step back and then act consciously.